Political strategist O'Brien Murray and J.C. Polanco, attorney and assistant professor at the University of St. Vincent, are here for the big reveal. Who gets a box of cigars for predicting the winner of the election? And the winner is...
This guy right
here.
Months ago.
He predicted that Donald Trump would win. Yeah. And you offered a box of cigars, so you owe him a box of cigars.
He had so little faith in my abilities to call an election and determine who might win based on my experience. Yeah. He said, it's got to be a box of cigars.
Obie's such a nice guy. He's a good guy. He can't possibly want Donald Trump to win.
I never used the word want. I predict, and
let you know.
Okay, guys,
I told you exactly why.
So why did Donald Trump win?
I think Donald Trump won for many reasons. I think first, he saw large increases of Latino, African-American men support. I think that the economy was very important for people. And I think that for some reason, America decided that, you know, being impeached twice, January 6th, the indictments, the convictions, the vitriol calling a vice president garbage, trash, all the things you could imagine were just not enough for them not to vote for Donald Trump, and they voted for him.
JC, that's why he won.
I
was talking on election day. I was in Pennsylvania. I was talking to people up in Lawler's district. You know, woman said to me, "What's democracy?" They talk about January 6th, but their candidate that never went through a nomination.
Please.
That's not my words, JC. This is a voter. This is a woman, and they claim.
So why do you think Donald Trump won?
Because he apparently listened to the voters, and Harris didn't. He won the popular vote. Harris got fewer votes than Joe Biden. JC, I call it the way I see it, based upon experiences. Yeah. It's a gut, not a heart.
Right.
So basically, it was the economy.
Well, but also, it's a special election. Bob Turner, we did the special election. We have very few days to do it. Harris was not ready for the press at the beginning, and I commend her staff doing a fantastic job rolling things out and so forth. She should have been doing media for the past year to be ready so she could go out. You could tell she had to work her way up to it.
So was it a mistake on the part of the Democrats to have Joe Biden even run in the first place?
Absolutely.
Joe Biden made the mistake, and everybody else that surrounded him and protected him. What they should have done so many things differently, as we all know, but by her own ineptitude personally, saying, I need help.
You know what it is?
She should have voted for Biden.
It was a huge mistake for him to run. But what we hear from Obie and what I'm hearing from voters that voted for Donald Trump is that they expected Vice President Harris to be absolutely perfect. I mean, former President Trump could go up there, talk about Hannibal Lecter, talk nonsense. I mean, gibberish for hours, and it wouldn't matter. But VP Harris had to be absolutely perfect. No. That's obscene, man.
You're a professor. Let's look at politics for a second. Why did Joe Biden win? Why did Adams get mayor? Because the day one message was the same as election day, and it went to the voters.
I guess I'm not being clear. You expect Harris to be absolutely perfect, but what we saw from Donald Trump was vitriol, divisiveness, and how in the world could the country overlook January 6th?
JC,
I don't understand it.
Guys, did the Democrats make a mistake in dumping Biden? Was that a problem, and did that make it more difficult to even
President Biden should not have been running, and at any point they had gotten him out would have been the right time. For this reason, when we look at him before he left the race, they at that point were slightly worse than they finished. They had an opportunity with somebody else. They had no opportunity with Joe Biden. So he had to step down as a candidate. But JC, the bigger picture here is, what the country needs to do to unite, is not go after Donald Trump.
But you have the arsonist is not calling for the arsonist is trying to play firefighter.
JC, no, you're not.
But can you let me finish?
Let him talk.
Could you let me finish, please? The truth of the matter is that there were some blind spots that the Democrats had, in addition to some real issues that we have to talk about that I guess I'm not getting through, that she had to be perfect. That's obscene. The truth is that they were slow to immigration. I mean, we see 15 million people here come through porous borders, coming in our communities. We don't know who these people are. We were thinking that we didn't want to offend Latinos, so you waited too long. The truth was that the Manhattan prosecution was a mistake. There's prosecutorial discretion. He was over-prosecuted. People got numb to the prosecutions. There were serious crimes. Trying to steal the election in Georgia, the documents case. But those were real cases. The Manhattan case was an over-prosecution. In one day, he raised $100 million, Donald Trump, from that prosecution. That was over-prosecution, and it numbed the country.
Felt sorry for him because prosecutors are going after him?
I said that it numbed the country. I don't know if people felt sorry for him, but I know that a lot of people across the country felt he was being over-prosecuted. That was a mistake.
On a purely technical level, the Democratic Party attacked him and thought they could get away, and I don't mean it negatively, in a way of running a campaign.
So when he said it was a political prosecution, was it a political prosecution, but did people believe it was?
It didn't matter. The perception was it was. And where Donald Trump has been public for so long, the expectations were set. That is history. And expectations in life on everything.
I don't think JC agrees with you.
I just don't agree. You know what I don't agree with? That you can look at what happened in January 6th. You could look at the documents case. You could look at him calling. You hear him. Find me 11,000 votes. You see all of this, and you can still tell me something about Vice President Harris not doing enough media. Something about Vice President. Stop it. This was ridiculous. This was the country made a mistake. Look, I'm an attorney. Sometimes I disagree with the jury. Sometimes I disagree with him. And I disagree with this vote. I think that they made a mistake. They went with a guy that was impeached twice for reason. And they say to me that he can go up there for 2 hours and talk about Hannibal Lecter, talk about her being trash, and say all these terrible things.
JC,
and none of that matters.
JC, the far left and the far right, if they speak like you, will not unite the country. What I'm saying to you is the expectations for Trump were set. Harris missed the opportunity to set the expectations because she didn't do it.
What should she have talked about?
Whatever it was should have been those 3 messages they decided that were comfortable for her, unique to her, and she believed in them, and be able to talk about them and run them from day one until the election.
Did
Donald
Harris make a mistake in how she campaigned?
I think the first part was a mistake. They protected her from going out there. She was full of energy. She should have spoken to a lot of folks. She should have had those town halls. I tell you, I don't know what she needed to do to get enough votes, because I'm looking at the map and I'm saying she did everything perfect considering the fact that she came into this race with 100 days, as you mentioned a little earlier. She could have been Jesus Christ, Obi. People wouldn't have voted for her. You know it, and they have their own reasons why.
JC.
They can hide behind, it was the economy, even though.
A lot of minority voters voted for Donald Trump.
I know they did, but they did for various reasons. The fact, look, not every. Are you kidding me?
JC, she did. I mean, you've heard me say this. The ellipse speech was fantastic. She was not perfect. She got better along the way. Every candidate gets better.
Infinitely better than Donald Trump on the stump. She was infinitely better than him on the issues.
Knowing that what she knew about Joe Biden, shouldn't she have been preparing before all of this happened? She knew who he was. She knew he had some mental decline. She should have known that this could happen and should have prepared anyway.
Marsha, I tell every candidate that talks to me about running, I work with them on media and see where they are. I tell them before they even want to announce or run, let's spend some time on media training. Way back and see how they do. If they don't pick it up along the way, we have a problem. I tell them not to run. There's things about that. And I'm not saying Harris should have done that, but where was she in the past year sitting in rooms doing media training and getting ready? We don't know.
Would that have made a difference?
I don't think it would have made a difference because there was too many blind spots, in addition to why many people wouldn't have voted for her anyway. The immigration issue was a big problem. The Democratic base was divided on the Middle East issue. I mean, it was a real issue what was happening. Young people felt disconnected. There was a large group of anti-Semitism within some parts of the base of the Democratic Party. That was also a mistake. And I think that we're in a purple country. Democrats have to realize that and come back to the middle on some of these issues in order to have a shot.
Marsha, one little thing.
Okay, but we have time. So
she did worse than Joe Biden. You can attack the Republican side, but the Democrats themselves left her.
I want to ask you this. How do we unite the country?
By opening our eyes, our arms, having conversations that are productive and not criticize the other side.
Do you think Donald Trump is the person to unite the country? Do you honestly, Obi? I
was here on this set.
Do you think he's the person?
I was on Wednesday morning. I said, Donald Trump went out before he hit 270 at 2:30 in the morning, but his war room factually knew where he was going. The networks wouldn't call it yet, rightly so, because they needed more information. He could have gone on if he wanted to be that bum rush guy at 11 o'clock.
Look, I think this is going to require a lot of work. I don't know if Donald Trump is the person to do it. He's a divisive phenomenon. I don't know if he has the ability to unite the country. His words are divisive. The way he acts is divisive. And some of the things he said he was going to do on the campaign are divisive. And we know it, and it's going to take a lot of work. And I think the Democrats have to move towards the middle on all of these important issues that they believe that they could virtue signal their way to election victories. Is not going to happen. And I really think that running the 30,000 times, there was a commercial saying that she supported transgender surgeries for convicts, and I think that was a mistake.
I'm going to have to call time because we have to leave it right there for now. But our conversation continues right after the show on our streaming channel, CBS News New York, and it'll be just like it was here. We're back with another bonus conversation with O'Brien Murray and JC Polanco. Here's my question. A lot of people are concerned that Donald Trump will be authoritarian and will not want to leave office at the end of 4 years. Is that just fear or is that reality?
Today it's a fear. We will not know the reality. We will know the buildup. I believe at this point, J.D. Vance was a legacy pick. He now knows he's in the history books. How he will be in the history books 20, 30, 40 years from now will be how he acts these next 4 years. He also knows how not to act and how to be effective. If he chooses the right route, it could be great for the country.
Will he choose the right route?
I really hope so. We need this. I mean, he has to come towards the middle. He has to not do the things he promised during the campaign. And I think that that's the issue. If he wants to be the uniter-in-chief, he has to do a lot of the things that he has to say, I'm not going to do all of the things I said I was going to do.
Why?
Mass deportations across the country.
Why did he win the popular vote and the electoral college?
There are a lot of reasons.
He reached
because of the economy.
He reached so many people.
To that point, Marcia, the economy right now, we have the lowest unemployment ever. Our economy is the envy of the world. But you know what?
People don't
believe it. People don't feel it.
Wait,
you know why they don't believe?
Wait. I want to tell you something. So I had a conversation the day before the election with a lawyer from Long Island, and I asked him why he was voting for who he was going to vote for, and he said, number one, because when I go to the supermarket, prices are higher than they've ever been, and number two, I can't get a mortgage, my kids can't get a mortgage, my girlfriend can't get a mortgage because mortgages are too high. Yep. That's why people think the economy is not in a good place.
You know how you find out the price of gas? You drive, you see it on there every day. You see the prices going up and down. People feel it at the pumps. They feel it at the grocery stores.
But the real question is this: will Donald Trump be able to change that?
Yes.
I mean, wait. I'm not done. He's now vowing to raise tariffs, and most economists say that if you raise tariffs, it will increase and cause inflation. It will increase prices and cause inflation. Are you telling me that that's not going to be the case?
The cost of fuel. Bringing that down by making the U.S. fuel efficient, but also being able to survive, brings the price down. It happened. John Catsimatidis sat on this couch and said that too.
Okay, Obi.
JC.
I'm sorry, JC.
Obi's a better looking one.
Yeah, that's right, founding father.
I confused.
So
yes.
the truth is this is the messaging that I'm talking about. You say things enough, people start believing it. The fact is that we're more independent today, energy-wise, than ever before. So he just said that's what I'm saying.
Are you worried? I need to ask you. Are you worried that the Trump policies in terms of tariffs will raise prices, not lower them?
Well, absolutely. Every economist will tell you that. I mean, seriously, you get a PhD in economics, will tell you that if you raise tariffs, that's going to be passed on to the consumer. The idea that you're going to raise tariffs on a country and that we're going to pay less is obscene.
So does that mean that he's not going to raise tariffs?
No, he will. He absolutely will. I think he's going to come through with everything he promised.
Before tariffs are touched, gas prices will come down. You will feel it at home, and you will save money sooner than you would believe.
Is this a box of cigar bet?
No, I'm not betting any more cigars.
You keep losing to me.
Done.
So I have to ask you this question. So one person we haven't talked about is Kathy Hochul. She was able to pass Prop 1, and she was able to turn 3 seats in Congress from Republican to Democrat. Is she the big winner here, or is she still vulnerable to somebody challenging her for office?
I think she's a tie at best, but what she benefits from Trump winning, because now you're a Trump midterm at that point, but she will be primaried from the left. What happens to Eric Adams will start happening to Governor Hochul.
That's a mistake with the Democrats. I think Obi's right on that. If you're going to primary her from the left, you're driving the party further to the left, and, more and more, New York is showing that it's purple. Now, after this Trump election, you see more parts of New York City voting Republican. So why in the world would you go to the left of anything?
So you're saying that if more people primary her from the left and she has to move to the left, that opens up the world for the Republicans?
Absolutely it does. She has to stay in the middle. She has a lane. Stay in the middle. Nobody wants to hear about closing Rikers, opening up no new jails, decriminalizing so-called sex work. This is a kind of messaging that some folks on the far left are pushing, and I think that has been resoundingly rejected. And the idea of giving free housing, free education, free vouchers to people that are here undocumented, those days are over. And I think
when the immigration problem is lessened with President Trump, Hochul will benefit. When the congestion pricing is out the window because of President Trump, Hochul will benefit. That's an irony there. She will not have to take the punishment for eliminating it. She'll get the credit when it's not there on the ballot.
Yeah, but then she's going to have to come up with money for the MTA, and it looks the only way to do that is going to be to raise a tax. That can't possibly be popular.
There's a whole slew of ways they can do it. The casino's coming. You also have the fare beaters that are doing things and not paying their fair share at this point. There are so many ways they can look at this potentially. Also, how much is they spending and where they spend it? The MTA is one of the most bloated government agencies in the country. There are so many things that can be done from a cost standpoint, and there's also the other side of the income without creating congestion pricing is a new tax today, whatever the dollar amount is, and then it's something they're going to raise forever. That's one of the problems with congestion pricing.
Marshall, watch how the entire primary season next year will have Democrats moving towards the middle on a lot of issues because they know.
We're talking about the mayoral primary.
Yeah, you're going to see more and more Democrats.
But all the people who've announced so far seem to be to the far left.
Yeah, but you're going to see them come to the middle on issues, and the far left is not going to win. And if the far left wins a primary here, they open up the floor. They open up the door for a moderate Democrat.
I wish I could figure out the bet on the fly here, because I'm telling you, I think there's going to be one moderate from the center of the Democratic Party that's going to rise to the top, and the left's going to go at each other, throwing stones all day.
Does Eric Adams run again?
Tell me what the Campaign Finance Board does. Who's going to finance his campaign? Will he get matching funds or not? And what happens to the U.S.? What's the U.S. attorney going to do at this point when they get to March, when it's no longer the Democrat appointee and it's a Republican appointee?
So what are you predicting?
I'm not a lawyer, but I get a sense that this case is not going to go too far in the U.S. side. It'll get slowed up a bit. The question is, if they eliminate it, will D.A. Bragg step in and take it over like he was going to do with Benjamin?
Well,
does Donald Trump pardon Eric Adams if he gets convicted?
I think he has a potential. I think if Trump were to pardon Adams, it'd be before the trial.
Boy, I'm so happy I didn't participate in that back and forth there. I'm so happy.
Well, why do you think? Well, you don't get a pass.
I don't get a pass.
Excuse me, you're on the couch.
I know,
Marshall.
Passes. no passes. But the truth is, we're so too early to tell. The man hasn't had his day in court yet. We got to give him a chance. Give him a chance to defend himself.
What's the downside of President Trump, pardoning Adams? I'm just saying,
but we're assuming
what's
the man is guilty. The downside is that first you're assuming that the man is guilty to get a pardon. I mean, the guy
you don't. You do not have to go to trial to get a pardon.
No. But he would have to. Look, first of all, you're talking about technicalities. President-elect Trump is not going to pardon Mayor Adams if he hasn't committed a crime. There's nothing here yet.
Al Smith dinner, he talked about it.
I understand, but there hasn't been a trial yet, and we're already calling this guy guilty. Let him have.
There may not be a trial for numerous reasons.
It's not fair.
Are we betting on this?
I'm trying to figure out how to catch him again.
You just want another box of cigars.
Marsh, I'm playing with house money.
I'm telling you, but I feel terrible. This guy hasn't had his day in court. People are talking about pardons. Give the man a chance to at least say why he's not guilty.
President Trump ran on, it was a political indictment, not.
Boy, it sounds like you're a real fan of President-elect Trump.
I speak the facts, JC.
We're going to have to leave it here right now. Thank you both for joining me. I'm sure you'll be back again. And thank
Will you have
all
us?
for joining me as well.
Thank you, Marcia.